Hello, and welcome back to Honorable Mentions. I'm Emily Barker,
I'm Gianna Kokovinas.
And I'm Cameron Deschnod.
and today we are talking about the last installment of the honor sequence, Honor 202.
Yes.
Yeah. Really covered a lot there. A lot of things covered.
Full
Yeah.
circle. Yeah, I know.
Really
so many different things.
Wide array. Yeah.
Paintings, poems, books, short stories.
Paintings about poems and books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short stories about paintings and poems.
Pretty much.
A lot of different things. A lot of relation to different things too. That was the
Very
correlation
wide
class.
Yeah.
Call it.
Full disclosure, we didn't even really know where to begin for
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah.
I guess a good place to start would be maybe our MLPs, because those are the books that we know the best. I remember I did Eichmann in Jerusalem, a report on the banality of evil by Hannah Arendt. And I think just what got me to pick that book was because I'm a Jewish girl. I have a Jewish faith background, so it was just
Jewish.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah, by the way.
Happy Hanukkah. Is it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. At the time of recording this,
I know.
it's Hanukkah.
It's kinda-
Happy Hanukkah.
It's kismet, as I say. But yeah, so I didn't really know much about the book. I just knew that it had something to do with like the Holocaust and the events surrounding it. But as I went into it, I realized it was about a Nazi general that was basically responsible for the transportation of Jews from their houses in the Jewish ghettos to the death camps like Auschwitz and all the other ones like that. And you go in there, you expect, I mean, obviously he's a terrible person, but you realize that there's something very interesting in his character, and that he was kind of just like a robot programmed to obey his superiors. So it's like, of course you want to go into the book hating him and everything, but it was interesting the way that she presented the facts and the everything that happened during his trial. He was tried in Jerusalem and obviously found guilty, but it was very interesting to hear his reasonings for what he did and the way he was able to navigate such a dark and hard time. And I think that my presentation really focused on that with Dr. Rosenfeld and Dr. Lacey. So yeah, shout out to them for walking me through that. It was a bit heavy subject material, but I liked it. I really appreciated the book.
I think we all had fairly heavy subject material.
Yeah, we did.
We're now in the modern era. That's what that class was focusing on. And so no more optimism, no more humanism. Now it's
no more heroes in quest.
No more.
But,
no.
Now it's Rage Against the Machine.
Even though my MOP wasn't on this, I will say one of the depressing but I think really cool tales. This one was The Machine Stops, right?
I love that one.
I really do like The Machine Stops. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to like super get into it just for time's sake, but
yeah,
I just wanted it out there. Machine Stops, very fun.
really good. If you have time to read, it's a short story. It's amazing.
Yeah. But speaking of MOPs, Emily, if you wanted to.
Yes, so I did mine on Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky. And that one was a bit of a challenge for me because all of the MOPs I had done before, either like the Odyssey or Machiavelli, they're things I had read before, or it was with the Life of Saint Columba, I was able to kind of learn through osmosis.
Yeah.
Whereas with Notes from Underground, it was something I really had to wrestle with, and like I had to learn how to fully understand. And I don't even know if I was able to fully understand it in the end, but it was definitely a very interesting book. I had chosen it mostly because the way how I choose my MOPs, I had been lucky the 3 semesters, the 3 semesters before that I had gotten books I either really liked or was able to easily tackle, because I always pick my MOP based off of when it happens, because I'm one of those people who likes to get things done at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah.
So I'm never the first, but I like to go generally second, third. So that with the honors 202, it happened to be Dostoevsky, and it was a really interesting book compared to a lot of the other things we had done in that class,
Yeah.
which were more articles or nonfiction. I had one of the few narrative texts, and I was really interested in like diving into it and the depraved character of the underground man.
I think we all liked it. I think it was a
Yeah.
running joke that we called ourselves the underground man whenever we were feeling really
Yes,
bitter that day.
Yeah. My initial MOP topic before I ended up changing my thesis was kind of how the underground man is kind of like the perfect COVID character. Like
Yeah.
we all kind of became the underground man a
Yeah.
bit because of quarantine.
Like shrouded up in our little cocoons and like angry at the world and just,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm.
doing our own
Mhm.
little things. Yeah.
Yeah. And first off, I always want to say that all of Emily's MOPs were fun, kind of like
Mhm.
lighthearted, really cool connections. They're like, oh, how's
Disney
she gonna, yeah,
princes and Mean Girls.
how are you gonna tie this together? And it's like, wow, that came together really nice. And I think this one was like a really, I don't say like overly serious one, because I think you did really, really well, but just more of like a,
Mhm.
like there was no positive way to
No.
kind of like
It was an
spin
underground
this,
man book.
yeah.
Wait,
Well,
MOP.
no. I
Yeah.
think I was able to spin a message of hope at the end, because
Yeah.
I just remembered my thesis was one about how even though the underground man is depraved, the book still kind of espouses redemptive suffering,
Mhm.
suffering
Mhm.
as something that can help and heal your soul so that you're
Yeah.
able to go to heaven.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe I should have put it more in the, because I think you did do that really
Mhm.
well. Got as much positivity out of it as
Yeah.
possible. But it definitely wasn't the Disney
Princes.
Princes, yeah.
No.
That was that, or like the Marvel slide you had off the,
Oh,
that was fun.
amazing. It was
But
perfect.
yeah. Yeah, and then following suit of trying to make something, more positive, even though it's kind of depressing.
Mhm.
Yeah, mine. So the book I'm like blanking right now on the title of it
The
somehow.
death of Ivan Ilyich.
Death of
Oh,
Ivan
that one.
Ilyich. I could not for the life of me recall it like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is another one where it's kind of like it's really about the human condition. And so you see some of the worst parts of it and what society can
Mhm.
do to you, because it has you chase these
Yeah.
dreams of like grandeur, respect. You want power, you trade your friends for it. You kind of climb a social ladder even though you're never truly happy.
Mhm.
And it's about why people can be so cold, right? Kind of like showing that off. I decided to animate it.
Yeah.
That was so
It
creative.
was amazing.
Amazing. Like I just have to give you props for that.
Thank
It's
you.
incredible. Very creative, very innovative. I loved it.
Appreciate it. We almost had a sequel called The Death of Cameron Deshnod.
When they made you do it 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was up for about 48 hours. I would not have finished it if it wasn't for Jason. So shout out Jason. He's actually looking at us in the window right now.
Yes.
He
Next
is.
door.
But yeah, no, that I remember that one. It was fun, but it was challenging, both
Yeah.
given the subject matter, and also just the fact that I wanted to go out with like a bang, as both of you definitely
Yeah.
did too. So
It's definitely
yeah.
good. Really good.
yeah.
You presented for like 2 days in a row, and I was
I
like,
did.
wow,
I had
this
to
is
do
great.
it 2 days in a row because of scheduling issues.
Yeah.
So that was tiring.
Yeah, he did it like a champ though. Yeah, he
Thank
handled
you.
it like a champ.
Yes,
Thank you.
and definitely oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Please edit this bit
Yeah.
out
Sure,
if
we'll
at
edit
all
this out.
possible.
Definitely a good job though. Really well
Yeah.
done.
Yes,
Everybody-
definitely. It was very well done MOP, and I think just kind of exemplative of who, not the text, but just
Not the text,
the
yeah.
MOP is exemplative of who Cam is and how
Aw.
he was able to kind of take advantage of what was a shitty situation being
Mhm.
at home.
And doing
And
Yeah.
he used that to create an animated MOP, which I don't
Yeah.
know has been done before. So that's kind of like what we were talking about in our text,
Mhm.
all the suffering going on in the
Yeah.
world. You're able to turn it into maybe not necessarily something positive, but certainly something memorable.
Yeah.
I'm definitely proud with how we all did with our MOPs. We all really
Yeah.
put our heart and souls into these
Yeah.
MOPs, and it's nice to finally have them done and collected
Yeah.
and come full circle, you know?
Yes.
It is. It's nice.
Now we're moving on to our senior thesis, and that's a whole nother,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother
Yeah.
Can of
podcast
worms.
session.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that. later.
Yeah, we talked about that today. Anyway, as
Yeah.
always, if you would like to be on our podcast, please reach out to Cam, myself, or Dr. Pappenroth. And with that, that concludes the last installment of the honors review sequence.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Onwards and upwards.